Welcome to my channel Unleash Your English, my friend. Let me ask you something. Do you feel confident when you listen to English, but freeze when it's your turn to speak? You know the words. You understand the sentences, but your mouth stays silent. Why? You are not alone. And today, we will fix that. In this video, I'll show you the powerful shadowing method that helped me speak English like a pro, even when I was too shy to say a single word. You'll hear my story, step by step. You'll learn the exact way to copy, repeat, and speak out loud, without fear. So stay with me till the end. Because your English speaking journey starts today. Backend index pointing down comment below. Do you feel scared to speak English even when you understand it? Chapter 1. I couldn't speak a word. There was a time when I couldn't speak a single word in English. Not even hello. I understood some words when I heard people talking. I watched movies. I read simple sentences. But when I opened my mouth to speak, nothing came out. My tongue froze. My heart beat fast. My brain said, "You know this," but my mouth didn't listen. It was like my voice had gone missing. I felt small and helpless. I wanted to speak. I had so many thoughts in my head, but I didn't know how to bring them out in English. At school, I sat in the back during English class. The teacher asked questions, and I looked down, hoping she would not call my name. I was scared. My classmates seemed confident. They answered quickly. They used long words. But me? I just smiled and stayed silent. I nodded when I didn't understand. I laughed when others laughed, even if I didn't get the joke. I felt like I was outside of the conversation, just watching but never joining. I knew I had to speak. I wanted to speak, but fear held me like a chain. At home, I practiced by myself. I stood in front of the mirror. I looked into my own eyes. I tried to say, "My name is," but even that small sentence felt big. My mouth moved slowly. I said the words, but they didn't sound natural. I sounded strange to myself. I thought, is this really how English should sound? I felt embarrassed, even though I was alone in my room. I wanted to give up. But something deep inside me said, "Try again. Don't stop." So I took a deep breath and tried again. I remember one day I was watching a cartoon in English. The characters were happy and funny. They spoke fast, but clearly. I heard a short sentence. "Let's go." I paused the video. I repeated it. "Let's go." Again. "Let's go." It felt easy. It felt right. I said it many times. I copied their voice, their tone, their feeling. I didn't know it back then, but I was doing something called shadowing. I was repeating like a shadow. I wasn't thinking about grammar. I wasn't trying to be perfect. I was just copying with emotion. And for the first time, I felt like I was really speaking. That one small moment changed everything for me. I realized I didn't have to wait until I knew everything. I didn't need to study all the grammar rules before I could speak. I could start now, copying what I hear. Slowly, word by word, line by line, I could become more confident. I could become more fluent. And I didn't need a classroom. I didn't need a perfect book. I just needed my ears, my voice, and a little bit of courage. But still, the fear didn't disappear overnight. The next time I tried to speak in front of someone, my voice shook. I said the wrong word. I made a mistake. And yes, someone laughed. It hurt. I felt like going back to silence. But then I remembered that cartoon. That little sentence, "Let's go." And how proud I felt when I said it clearly. That memory gave me power. I told myself, "You are learning. It's okay to fall. Just get up and try again." And I did. Again and again. I began to make shadowing a habit. I watched simple English videos. I paused. I repeated. I matched my voice to the speaker's voice. I didn't care if I got it wrong. I just wanted to keep speaking. I shadowed songs, short dialogues, and small stories. I noticed something strange. My mouth was getting faster. My voice was clearer. My mind didn't freeze so much. I was becoming more confident, slowly but surely. My fear was still there, but now I had a tool to fight it. I had shadowing. Even though I was still a beginner, I felt different. I felt like I had a secret key to speaking. I was no longer stuck in silence. I was no longer afraid of starting. I didn't need to memorize big words. I didn't need perfect grammar. I just needed to listen, copy, and speak. That's all. And I could do that every single day. I could speak one sentence, then two, then three. I was building a habit, step by step. When my friends heard me speak one day, they were surprised. "You sound better," they said. "You speak more clearly now." That small compliment made my heart smile. I realized that I was not the same shy person anymore. I was changing, and the reason was shadowing. It helped me open my mouth. It helped me speak without fear. It made me feel like I was a part of the English world, not just watching from the outside, but speaking from the inside. Now, when I hear someone say, "I understand English, but I can't speak," I smile. Because I was there too. I know that pain, but I also know the way out. And in the next chapter, I'll show you what shadowing really means, so you can begin your speaking journey just like I did. Chapter 2. What is shadowing? When I first heard the words shadowing, I didn't know what it meant. Was it a study method? A speaking trick? A memory game? I had no idea. But one day, I heard someone say, "Shadowing is how babies learn to speak." That made me curious. I started thinking about how babies speak their first words. They don't read grammar books. They don't sit in classrooms. They just listen, copy, and speak. Again and again. They don't care about mistakes. They don't feel shy. They repeat what they hear. That is shadowing. And it made me think, maybe I can learn like a baby too. Shadowing is a beautiful and powerful method. It means listening to real English and copying it out loud, just like a shadow. You follow the speaker's voice, their rhythm, their sound. You don't stop to think too much. You don't translate in your head. You just copy, speak, and feel the words. At first, it feels strange. You might feel like a parrot. But slowly, something magical happens. The words become yours. The rhythm becomes natural. Your mouth gets used to English sounds. And one day, you open your mouth, and the words come out without fear. I didn't learn this method from a book. I discovered it by accident. I was watching a YouTube video in English. The speaker said something like, "You can do it." It was short, clear, and strong. I paused the video. I said the same words. "You can do it." I copied the tone. I copied the feeling. I repeated it 5 times. Then 10 times. After that, I said it without listening. It came out naturally. That was my first shadowing practice. I didn't know the name, but I felt something new inside me. A little bit of fluency, a little bit of courage. The best part about shadowing is that you don't have to wait. You don't have to understand every word. You don't have to finish your textbook. You can start today. You can start now. Pick a sentence. Play it. Pause it. Speak it. Feel it. Repeat it. That's it. It sounds too simple, but it works. The more you do it, the more confident you become. The words begin to stick in your memory. Your pronunciation gets better. Your speaking speed improves. You don't freeze when someone talks to you. You're ready because you've already practiced with real English. Many learners think speaking must come after grammar, but shadowing teaches the opposite. Speaking can come first. When you shadow, you are training your mouth. You are building speaking muscles. Just like going to the gym makes your body stronger, shadowing makes your voice stronger. And when your mouth knows how to speak English sounds, your brain starts to follow. You begin to understand more. You start to feel the language, not just study it. That's why shadowing is not just a method, it's a superpower for beginners. I used to feel shy when I spoke English. My words came out slowly. My sentences felt broken. But after shadowing every day, even for 5 minutes, I felt a change. I began to speak in full sentences. I used better tone. My voice sounded more like a native speaker. I didn't memorize. I didn't translate. I just copied and repeated. And that simple habit helped me more than anything else. It gave me confidence. It made me feel like I was really speaking English, not just studying it. Sometimes learners ask me, what if I don't understand the meaning? That's okay. At first, it's not about full understanding. It's about sound, rhythm, and flow. When a baby says mama or milk, they don't always understand the full meaning. But they repeat, and slowly, they learn. You will too. Start with small, simple phrases. Use videos with clear English. Repeat short sentences with strong emotion. Let your mouth move. Let your voice rise. Don't be afraid to sound silly. This is how you grow. This is how you become fluent. You can shadow in many ways. You can use a YouTube video. You can use an English podcast. You can use a movie clip. Anything with clear English and real voices is good. Just make sure it's not too fast. And don't choose boring things. Choose what makes you feel something. When you feel the words, you speak better. The motion helps memory. If the speaker says, I am happy, don't just repeat the words. Feel happy when you say them. If they say, I am tired, say it like you are really tired. That's what makes shadowing powerful. You are not just copying sounds. You are copying life. When I understood this, I stopped worrying about grammar. I stopped worrying about being perfect. I just focused on speaking with emotion. I shadowed every day. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night, sometimes while cooking or walking. It became part of my daily life. And that's when I noticed real growth. Not just in my English, but in my confidence. I was no longer silent. I had a voice, and that voice was growing stronger each day. So, if you are afraid to speak, start with shadowing. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait to understand everything. Begin with one small sentence. Pause. Copy. Speak. Repeat. Again and again. You will feel the change. You will feel the words becoming part of you. Chapter 3. My first shadowing attempt. The first time I tried shadowing, I didn't really know what I was doing. I had watched a video where someone said it was the best way to speak English fast. They said, just repeat what you hear. It sounded easy. So, I picked a short English clip from a children's cartoon. The characters were friendly. They spoke slowly. I thought, okay, I can do this. I sat in my room, put on my headphones, and pressed play. The character said, let's play outside. I paused the video. I opened my mouth to repeat it. But when I spoke, it didn't sound right. My voice was soft. My words were slow. I felt shy, even though I was alone. I tried again. Let's play outside. Still, I didn't feel confident. I repeated it 5 times, then 10 times. Each time I tried to copy the character's tone, their speed, and even their excitement. But something inside me felt strange. I was not used to speaking out loud like this. My tongue felt heavy. My voice was quiet. I was not sure if I was doing it correctly. I wanted to stop. I thought, this feels silly. Maybe this is not for me. But I remembered something. The people who speak well now were also beginners once. They started somewhere. Maybe this was my start. After a few minutes, I took a deep breath. I told myself, nobody is watching. Nobody is judging. Just try. I played the clip again. I repeated the sentence with more energy. Let's play outside. This time, it felt better. My voice was louder. My words were clearer. I smiled a little. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I was speaking English, not from memory, not from a textbook, but from my heart. I was copying real English, and that made me feel proud. For the first time, I wasn't just a listener. I was a speaker. I practiced that one sentence for 20 minutes. I said it while standing. I said it while walking around my room. I said it in a happy voice. I said it with a tired voice. I played with it like a child plays with a toy. And slowly, it started to feel easy. I didn't have to think about the words. My mouth just knew what to do. That was the moment I understood the power of shadowing. It was not about being perfect. It was about building confidence. It was about making English part of me. That day, I didn't shadow for a long time. Just a few minutes. But it felt like a big step. I had spoken out loud. I had faced my fear. I had repeated a real English sentence until it felt natural. And the best part? I had fun. It felt like singing. It felt like acting. I realized that shadowing could be more than practice. It could be enjoyable. It could be something I looked forward to. I wasn't just learning English. I was living it. The next day, I chose another sentence. This time from a different video. I'm hungry. Let's eat. It made me laugh. I paused the video. I copied it. I said it again and again. I imagined I was really hungry. I imagined I was talking to a friend. I put feeling into my voice. That's when I noticed something important. Shadowing is not just about words. It's about emotion. When you feel the words, you remember them better. When you act like you're in the situation, the sentence becomes yours. Soon, shadowing became a small habit. Every day, I picked 1 or 2 short sentences. I didn't try to shadow for an hour. I didn't push myself too hard. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day. That was enough. I started with easy sentences. I like cats. It's sunny today. I don't know. They were short, but they helped me build rhythm. They helped me get used to the sounds of English. I started noticing how native speakers change their tone, how they stress some words, how they speak with feeling. I tried to copy all of it. Not just the words, but the music of the sentence. There were days I felt lazy. There were days I didn't want to shadow. But I reminded myself how I felt after speaking. That little spark of joy. That feeling of growth. So even on those days, I picked just one sentence. I repeated it 3 times. That was my deal with myself. Never skip a day. Even a little is better than nothing. And every small step added up. After a few weeks, I noticed something amazing. When someone spoke English, I started hearing the words more clearly. When I watched a video, I understood more. And when I spoke, I felt less afraid. Shadowing became my secret weapon. I didn't tell many people at first. I was still shy, but I could feel myself changing. I didn't freeze during conversations. I could answer simple questions. I started using the same sentences I had shadowed. Let's eat. I don't know. It's sunny today. They came out naturally. They were part of me now. That's the magic of shadowing. It takes the language from the outside world and brings it inside you. If you've never tried shadowing, I understand how scary it feels at the beginning. You might feel weird talking to your screen. You might feel unsure, but that's okay. Everyone feels like that. Just start small. Pick one sentence. Listen. Pause. Repeat. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about sounding perfect. Just speak. Just copy. Just feel. Chapter 4. Listen, pause, speak. The magic steps. When I first started shadowing, I didn't know there was a simple way to make it easier. I just copied what I heard. But over time, I found a little system that changed everything for me. I call it listen, pause, speak. These 3 steps helped me stop feeling lost. They gave me a map, a clear path. And once I started using these steps, I became more confident with every sentence I repeated. It made shadowing feel like a game. Easy, fun, natural. These 3 small actions help me turn fear into progress. It starts with the first step, listen. This is where the magic begins. You pick a short audio or video clip, something slow, simple, and clear. You don't need a full movie or long conversation. Even 5 to 10 seconds is enough. You play that small part, and you just listen. Really listen. Don't try to speak yet. Don't try to understand every word. Just relax and focus on how it sounds. Listen to the music of the sentence. How does the voice rise and fall? Where do they pause? Where do they stress the words? At this moment, your ears are your teachers. The more you listen with attention, the easier the next step becomes. After you listen, you move to the second step, pause. This part is very important. After hearing the sentence, press the pause button. Stop the video or audio. Give yourself a little space to think, to breathe, and to speak. This pause gives your mind time to catch up. It helps you prepare your voice. Many people skip this part. They try to speak too quickly. But pausing helps you feel calm. It helps you focus. It's like getting ready to jump into the pool. You take a deep breath, then dive in. Pausing is that deep breath. Then comes the third step, speak. This is where you use your voice. This is the part where the learning becomes real. You repeat the sentence you just heard, not just the words. You try to copy everything, the voice, the emotion, the rhythm, the feeling. You don't worry about grammar. You don't worry if it's perfect. You just say the sentence out loud, with energy, with life. You become the voice. You become the speaker. This is the heart of shadowing. This is where fear turns into fluency. The first time I tried these steps, I felt nervous. I listened to the sentence. What time is it? I paused. Then I said it. What time is it? My voice sounded strange. I laughed a little. I didn't give up. I played it again. I listened carefully. I paused again. Then I said it once more. What time is it? This time, I added some emotion. I made my voice sound more natural. I imagined I was asking a real person. It felt better. I kept going. After 10 times, I said it without thinking. The sentence became part of me. That's when I knew this method worked. I started using listen, pause, speak every day. Sometimes while walking, sometimes while sitting in my room, sometimes even while brushing my teeth. I picked short clips with real English. A cartoon character, a podcast, a video lesson. I listened to them with focus. I paused after each sentence. I spoke the words with my own voice. And every time I did it, I felt stronger. My English didn't just stay in my head. It came out through my mouth. That's the power of this method. It turns passive listening into active speaking. One day, I watched a video where a woman said, "I'm proud of you." Her voice was soft and warm. I listened to her say it. I paused. Then I repeated it. "I'm proud of you." I said it slowly. I said it loudly. I said it with emotion. And I didn't just copy her words. I copied her kindness. I copied her feeling. I repeated that sentence for days. And now, when I say it, it feels like mine. That's what happens when you follow these 3 magic steps. The sentence doesn't feel like someone else's words anymore. It feels like something you can use anytime, anywhere. Many learners ask, how many times should I repeat a sentence? There's no perfect number. Sometimes 5 times is enough. Sometimes 20 times is better. The key is not the number. The key is the feeling. Repeat it until it feels smooth. Repeat it until your voice doesn't struggle. Repeat it until you can say it while looking at yourself in the mirror without fear. When the sentence feels easy, when it feels like you, then you're ready for the next one. But don't rush. Slow is strong. Steady is smart. Every time you repeat, you are building a strong English voice. It's okay to make mistakes while doing this. I made so many. I said words the wrong way. I forgot parts of the sentence. I sometimes laughed at myself. But I never stopped. I remembered that babies also make mistakes. But they keep speaking. They keep learning. So I did the same. I repeated even when I got it wrong. I didn't judge myself. I just kept going. And slowly, my sentences became better. My speaking became clearer. My confidence grew like a little plant. And that plant became a tree. The method is simple. Listen. Pause. Speak. But the result is powerful. This method changed how I learn English. It turned speaking from something scary into something exciting. It gave me a daily routine that felt fun. It made me proud of myself. And now, I want to pass it to you. Try it today. Pick one short video. Just one sentence. Listen carefully. Pause after it. Then speak it out loud. Repeat. Again and again. You will feel it. Your voice will grow. Your fear will shrink. Chapter 5. Finding the right videos for shadowing. When I started shadowing, I made one big mistake. I chose the wrong videos. I picked movies with fast conversations, difficult accents, and background noise. I didn't understand anything. I paused and repeated, but I couldn't copy the sounds. My mouth didn't know what to do. I felt frustrated. I thought, maybe this method is not for me. But the truth was simple. The method was not the problem. The video I chose was too difficult. My level was low, but I picked content that was too high. That's when I learned something very important. Choosing the right video makes shadowing easier, better, and more fun. The best videos for shadowing are not long movies. They are short clips with slow, clear English. When I was a beginner, I started with children's cartoons. At first, I felt embarrassed. I thought, these are for kids. But then I realized they were perfect for me. The characters spoke slowly. Their voices were clear. The sentences were short and full of emotion. I could pause and repeat easily. I could understand the meaning. I could match their tone. I could feel their excitement, sadness, or joy. That helped me remember the lines better. I felt like I was learning naturally, just like a child. One of my favorite videos was about a little cartoon bear. He said, "I love honey." I smiled and repeated, "I love honey." I said it 5 times. I tried to sound like him. I changed my voice. I copied his feelings. I laughed while doing it. I didn't care if I sounded silly. I was learning. That's when I realized that the video I picked was helping me, not confusing me. I could shadow with ease. I could enjoy every second. And that joy made me want to practice more. You don't need to search for hours. Just look for videos with short, real conversations. Videos that make you feel something. Videos with speakers who talk clearly and slowly. If you're a beginner, avoid fast news channels or serious debates. Those will come later. For now, focus on content that makes you feel confident. English learning channels, slow interviews, beginner podcasts, or storybooks read aloud. These are your best friends in the beginning. They give you sentences you can copy. They give you pronunciation you can trust. They help you build your voice one word at a time. Another great choice for shadowing is English vlogs. These are simple videos where people talk about their day. They say things like, "I woke up late today," or "I'm cooking dinner now." These are sentences we use in real life. They are perfect for shadowing because they teach you how people speak in daily life. You can copy their tone, their speed, and their style. You can imagine yourself saying the same thing. And one day, when you talk about your day, those same sentences will come out of your mouth easily. That's the magic of choosing the right content. If you enjoy stories, try shadowing short story videos. These videos tell you a simple story in clear English. They might say, "Tom is a boy. He likes to run." You can listen to one sentence at a time, pause, and speak. Stories have feeling. They make you feel connected. When you repeat the words, you are not just practicing. You are living inside the story. That feeling makes your brain and heart remember the language more deeply. Shadowing stories help me the most. I still use them today when I want to warm up my speaking. It's also helpful to watch videos with subtitles, at least in the beginning. Subtitles help you read while you listen. You can see the words and understand the spelling. Later, when you feel ready, you can remove the subtitles and just listen. But in the early days, subtitles are a good helper. They make the shadowing process smoother. You don't have to guess. You don't have to feel lost. You can look at the sentence, pause it, and speak it with confidence. That small help can make a big difference in how fast you learn. Don't worry if you don't find the perfect video right away. It's okay to try a few before you find one that feels right. Just remember, the best video for shadowing is the one that makes you want to speak. It's the one that makes you smile. It's the one that makes you feel like, "Yes, I can do this." It doesn't need to be long. Even a 30-second clip is enough to practice for a whole day. One good sentence, repeated many times, is more powerful than 100 hard sentences you don't understand. Sometimes I shadow songs too, but only if the words are clear and the speed is slow. Simple children's songs or soft English learning songs are good. You can sing them, you can repeat them, and you can feel the rhythm of the language. Music helps you remember. Music makes practice joyful. When you find a song that touches your heart, shadowing becomes fun. It doesn't feel like homework. It feels like art. So, if you want to speak English like a pro, choose your videos wisely. Start with easy, slow, clear content. Pick topics you enjoy. Use subtitles if needed. Repeat one sentence many times. And don't forget to enjoy the process. Shadowing is not just about speaking. It's about feeling the language. It's about becoming part of the English world, one sentence at a time. Chapter 6: Shadowing with Subtitles versus No subtitles. When I first started shadowing, I didn't know whether to use subtitles or not. Some people said, "Subtitles help you understand." Others said, "No subtitles. Just listen." I felt confused. I didn't know which way was better. I tried shadowing with subtitles first. It felt easier. I could see the words. I could read and speak at the same time. I felt more sure of myself. I didn't feel lost. But after a while, I noticed something strange. I was reading more than I was listening. My eyes were working harder than my ears. I started depending on the subtitles too much. I didn't really hear the sounds of the words. So one day, I turned off the subtitles. It was scary. I couldn't see the words anymore. I had to use only my ears. I played a short sentence. Do you like coffee? I paused the video. I tried to repeat it, but I was unsure. Was it, do you like coffee? Or did you like coffee? The sound was fast. The words blended together. I listened again. I focused on the sound. I repeated it slowly. Do you like coffee? I said it again and again. It was hard, but something interesting happened. I was really listening now. I wasn't just reading and copying. I was hearing English like music. And slowly, my ears started to understand. After that day, I made a rule for myself. I would start with subtitles when the sentence was too new or difficult. I used them like training wheels on a bicycle. They helped me stay balanced. But when I felt a little stronger, I turned them off. I closed my eyes and just listened. I let the sentence go into my ears and come out of my mouth. I didn't need to see every letter. I just needed to feel the rhythm. That mix, sometimes using subtitles, sometimes not, helped me improve both my listening and speaking at the same time. Subtitles are helpful when you are just beginning. They show you the spelling. They help you understand the sentence. When I started learning English, I didn't know how enough sounded. It looked like enough to me. But when I saw it in subtitles and heard it in the video, I realized, oh, it sounds like enough. That small moment helped me remember it forever. Subtitles helped me see the connection between the sound and the word. That made my shadowing practice smoother, especially in the early days when I was still afraid to speak. But if you always depend on subtitles, your ears get lazy. You stop listening carefully. Your mouth waits for your eyes. That slows your fluency. So the trick is to use subtitles smartly. Use them at first. Understand the sentence. Repeat it a few times with the subtitles on. Then turn them off. Play the sentence again. Now, try to shadow it without reading. If you forget it, turn subtitles on for a second, then off again. It's like learning to swim. You hold the side of the pool first, then slowly go into deeper water. That's how subtitles should work. They are your support, not your forever crutch. I remember one sentence that I practiced like this. I'm going to the store. At first, I needed subtitles. I read it. I repeated it. It felt simple. But when I turned them off, I heard something different. The speaker said it fast. I'm going to the store. I was surprised. I thought I knew the sentence, but I didn't hear it that way before. English speakers connect words. They don't always say each word slowly. That's why listening without subtitles is so important. It helps you understand real spoken English. And when you can repeat those natural sounds, your English starts to sound real too. Shadowing with no subtitles is not easy in the beginning, but it's okay to feel confused. That confusion means your brain is working. Your ears are trying. Your mouth is learning. Don't stop when it feels hard. Just take a breath and try again. Repeat this sentence many times. Listen to the sound again and again. Your brain will begin to recognize the pattern, and one day, without thinking, the sentence will come out of your mouth naturally. That is the result of listening deeply without reading. Still, don't feel bad if you need subtitles often. We all start somewhere. I used them for many months. Even now, sometimes I use subtitles to check a difficult phrase. They are not bad, but we must learn to fly without them too. If we want to speak like a pro, we must listen like a pro. And professionals don't read while speaking. They feel the words, hear the music, and trust their voice. That's what you are building through shadowing with. and without subtitles. So here's what I do today. When I find a new video, I shadow it with subtitles for the first few repetitions. Then I turn them off. I focus only on the sound. I speak out loud. I copy the speaker's rhythm, not just their words. I listen with my heart. And slowly, it becomes part of me. Sometimes I even close my eyes while shadowing. That helps me listen better. It removes the pressure of reading. I just feel the sentence, and I speak. If you're wondering, should I use subtitles or not? My answer is simple: both. Use them wisely. Start with support, then try on your own. The balance is the key. Shadowing is not just about what you say. It's about how you hear. It's about training your ears, not just your eyes. Chapter 7. Mirror Practice. Face your fear. There was a moment in my English journey when I stood in front of the mirror, looked at my face, and couldn't say a word. I wanted to speak. I had just watched a short video and shadowed the sentence, "I am ready." But when I tried to say it while looking into my own eyes, I froze. My voice disappeared. My hands felt cold. My mind said, "You're not good enough." That was the first time I understood something important. Sometimes, we are not afraid of English. We are afraid of ourselves, of how we look, of how we sound, of how others might judge us. The mirror shows us not just our face, it shows our fear. And that's why mirror practice is so powerful. Because when you speak in front of the mirror, you are not only learning English, you are learning courage. At first, it was hard. I avoided it. I thought, what's the point of looking at myself? I thought shadowing with a mirror was silly. But one day, I decided to try again. I took a short sentence. "You can do it." I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself. I said the words out loud. "You can do it." My voice was quiet. I didn't feel strong, but I kept looking at my eyes. I repeated it again. "You can do it." My voice got louder. I said it again and again. And slowly, something changed. I started to believe the words. I wasn't just repeating English anymore. I was speaking to myself, encouraging myself, building my own confidence. That is what mirror practice does. It gives you a place to be both the speaker and the listener. You can watch your mouth move. You can see your expressions. You can hear your own voice. It helps you become aware of how you speak. When I first did this, I noticed that I spoke too quietly. My mouth barely moved. My face looked nervous. So I made small changes. I opened my mouth more. I smiled. I added energy to my voice. I acted like I was speaking to a friend. And slowly, I became more expressive. My words had life. My sentences had power. And the fear started to fade. Mirror practice is not just for shadowing. It's for building trust with yourself. It's a safe space. Nobody is watching. Nobody is laughing. You can make mistakes. You can try again. You can speak with feeling. This is your private classroom. This is your English stage. When you shadow in front of the mirror, you're training your voice to come out freely. You're teaching your brain that speaking is safe. And the more you do it, the more your fear turns into strength. I remember one sentence that helped me a lot. "I believe in myself." I watched a video where a woman said it with deep emotion. I paused the video. I looked in the mirror. I said it. "I believe in myself." At first, it didn't feel true. But I said it again. "I believe in myself." I said it with more energy. I said it louder. I watched my eyes. I saw something change. My eyes looked stronger. My voice felt stronger. That one moment stayed with me. It became my daily habit. Every morning, I picked one sentence. I stood in front of the mirror and shadowed it 10 times. That 5-minute habit changed my whole day. If you're shy to speak English in front of others, mirror practice is your secret weapon. It prepares you. It helps you get used to your voice. It teaches you how to speak with clarity, with emotion, with confidence. You don't need special tools. Just you, a mirror, and your sentence. Start with short, powerful lines. I'm learning. I can speak. It's okay to make mistakes. Look at yourself. Speak clearly. Repeat with feeling. You'll be surprised how much you grow. Sometimes I even recorded myself while doing mirror practice. Then I watched the video. I listened to how I spoke. I looked at my face. I noticed my weak points. I fixed them slowly. My voice became smoother. My eyes looked braver. My sentences were full of energy. That feedback helped me improve fast. You can do the same. You can become your own coach. Just be kind to yourself. Don't judge too hard. You're learning, and every small step is progress. Mirror practice also helps with pronunciation. When you look at your mouth, you can see how it moves. You can adjust the shape. You can make your th sound better. You can practice ending your sentences properly. Oh, you become more careful, more aware. And that awareness makes your English more natural. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than yesterday. That is what shadowing with a mirror teaches you. There were many times I cried in front of the mirror, not because I was sad, but because I saw how far I had come. I saw the boy who once said nothing, now speaking full sentences. I saw the fear turn into pride. I saw the weak voice grow into a strong one. And I smiled, because I knew, deep inside, that I was becoming fluent, not only in English, but in confidence. So if you want to speak English like a pro, go to the mirror. Bring your sentence. Bring your voice. Bring your fear. And speak anyway. Start small. Just one line. Look at yourself. Repeat with courage. Do it again tomorrow. And the next day. And the next. One day, your mirror will show you someone who is no longer afraid to speak. Chapter 8. Mistakes are music, not monsters. There was a time when every mistake I made in English felt like a failure. I said the wrong word, and my face turned red. I used the wrong tense, and I wanted to hide. I forgot a word in the middle of a sentence, and I felt like giving up. Each small error felt like a big problem. I thought that making a mistake meant I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart, that I wasn't ready. But I was wrong, completely wrong, because now I know the truth. Mistakes are not monsters. They are music. They are part of your learning song. And without them, your voice will never grow strong. In the beginning, I wanted to speak perfectly. I wanted every sentence to be right. I listened to native speakers and thought, why can't I speak like that? So I practiced quietly. I repeated sentences again and again. But the moment I tried to speak to someone, I made a mistake. Maybe I forgot the word. Maybe I pronounced something wrong. Maybe I said he go instead of he goes. And when that happened, I felt shame. I thought people would laugh. I thought they would correct me with a cold voice. But something surprising happened. They didn't. Most people smiled. Some helped me. Some didn't even notice. That's when I realized something important. People don't remember your mistakes. They remember your effort. One day, I was shadowing a sentence. I'm looking for the supermarket. I repeated it 10 times. I felt good. Then I went outside and saw a tourist looking lost. I wanted to help. I walked up and said, I'm looking for the supermarker. Yes, supermarker. I said it wrong. I realized it as soon as the word came out of my mouth. I wanted to disappear, but the tourist smiled and said, me too. He understood me. My mistake didn't stop the conversation. It didn't destroy the meaning. That moment taught me a lesson I never forgot. Communication is more important than perfection. After that day, I started looking at mistakes differently. I started seeing them as my teachers. Every time I said something wrong, I learned something new. If I forgot a word, I remembered it better next time. If I said the wrong form, I paid more attention later. Each mistake was like a light showing me where to grow. And the more I accepted them, the more I improved. I stopped being afraid. I started enjoying the process. Speaking English became fun again, not something full of fear. When you shadow, you will make mistakes. You will copy a word incorrectly. You will miss a sound. You will say a sentence too fast or too slow. That's normal. That's beautiful. That's how we learn. Babies make mistakes all the time. They say me want milk. They say go ed instead of went. But do we laugh at them? No. We smile. We encourage them. We know they are learning. You are the same. You are growing. You are building a new language in your brain. And mistakes are the bricks that build your fluency. Sometimes I would record myself while shadowing. Then I listened back. I heard my own mistakes. My voice was unclear. I skipped words. I used the wrong tone. At first, I felt embarrassed. But then I listened again, this time with kindness. I asked myself, what can I fix? And I made small changes. Slowly, sentence by sentence, I improved. Without mistakes, I would not have known what to fix. Without mistakes, I would have stayed the same. They showed me my path. You must understand this deeply. If you are not making mistakes, you are not learning. If your shadowing practice is always perfect, you are staying in your comfort zone. Step outside. Say the sentence even if you're unsure. Repeat the phrase even if it sounds strange. Shadow with emotion, even if it feels silly. That's how you grow. That's how you find your voice. Every mistake is a step forward. Every wrong sentence brings you closer to fluency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. I remember a girl in my English group. She spoke a lot, even though she made many mistakes. People listened to her. They liked her. She was full of energy. She laughed when she messed up. She asked questions. And her English improved fast. Faster than those who stayed quiet. I learned from her. I copied her bravery. I told myself, it's okay to fall. It's okay to speak badly today if it means I'll speak better tomorrow. That mindset changed my life. So now, when I shadow and I get something wrong, I smile. I laugh. I try again. I say great. That means I'm learning. Because it's true. Every mistake is a sign that I'm trying. That I'm not stuck. That I'm on the road. And that's what matters most. Shadowing is not about being perfect. It's about showing up. It's about using your voice. And your voice, with all its mistakes, is still powerful. Still beautiful. So the next time you repeat a sentence and say it wrong, say it again. Say it louder. Say it prouder. Make mistakes with confidence. Because they are not monsters trying to stop you. They are music guiding you. Helping you. Singing your growth. One mistake at a time. Chapter 9. Repeat until you feel the sentence. In the beginning, I used to repeat English sentences like a robot. I watched a video. I heard the sentence. I paused. I repeated it. But something was missing. My voice was flat. My words felt empty. I said the sentence, but I didn't feel it. It was like copying a line from a book without understanding the story. I knew the words, but they didn't belong to me yet. Then one day, everything changed. I heard a simple sentence. I miss you. The actor in the video said it with such emotion, such feeling, that I stopped. I didn't just hear the words. I felt them in my heart. That's when I realized the real secret of shadowing. You don't just repeat until you remember. You repeat until you feel. Feeling the sentence is different from just saying the sentence. When you feel it, your voice changes. Your eyes change. Your body moves a little. You are not just speaking, you're living the moment. You are becoming the character. You are becoming the voice. That's what makes shadowing powerful. It's not about repeating fast. It's not about finishing quickly. It's about going deep. One sentence, many times, with your heart fully inside it. That's how fluency grows. Not with more, but with meaning. I remember another sentence that taught me this. I don't know what to do. It came from a movie. A young man said it with sadness. I repeated it the usual way, like I always did. But it didn't sound right. My voice was too flat. I played it again. I listened carefully. I heard the pain in his voice. I paused. Then I tried again, slower, softer, just like him. I don't know what to do. And suddenly, the sentence felt real. It touched something inside me. I said it again. I don't know what to do. And again, each time with more feeling. That day, I shadowed just that one sentence for 30 minutes. But I didn't feel bored. I felt connected. That's the power of deep repetition. You don't need 100 new sentences every day. You need one sentence, repeated with feeling, with heart. That kind of practice changes your brain. It builds real fluency. It builds confidence. The sentence becomes part of you. It lives in your memory, in your mouth, in your emotions. So when the time comes to speak in real life, that sentence comes out naturally. You don't search for it. You don't translate. You just speak. Because you've already lived it many times through shadowing. Many learners think they are wasting time if they repeat the same sentence again and again. But no, this is how you grow. Think of it like music. A singer doesn't learn a song by singing it once. They sing it many times. They feel the words. They play with the rhythm. They make it their own. That's what you must do with English. Repeat like a singer. Shadow like an actor. Say it until your voice believes it. Until your heart believes it. One of my favorite shadowing sentences is, "Everything will be okay." It's simple, but full of hope. I shadowed it every morning for a week. Each time I said it, I felt stronger. Some days I was tired. Some days I felt weak. But when I said that sentence, "Everything will be okay," I felt comfort. I felt peace. It became my morning meditation. That's what shadowing can do. It's not just speaking practice. It's emotional practice. It teaches you to connect words with real feelings. And that connection is what makes your English come alive. When you pick a sentence to shadow, don't just look for the words. Listen for the feeling. Is the speaker happy? Sad? Excited? Nervous? Try to copy that emotion. Don't worry if it feels strange at first. That's normal. Just keep going. Say it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. Don't rush. Close your eyes. Feel the sentence in your heart. Speak it with truth. You will know when the sentence becomes part of you. Your voice will change. Your face will move. Your words will flow. That's when you know this sentence is now yours. Sometimes, I only shadow 2 or 3 sentences in one day. But I repeat them deeply. I don't try to rush through a big list. I choose fewer sentences, and I say them again and again. I change the tone. I change the speed. I try different emotions. I act. I sing. I play with the words. And that play turns into power. I remember those sentences forever. I use them in real conversations. And people say, "Wow, You sound natural. That's because I didn't just memorize. I felt. You can do the same. Pick one sentence. Any sentence. I'm tired. I like this. Can I help you? Say it 10 times. Feel it. Whisper it. Sing it. Shout it. Speak it to your mirror. Speak it to your pillow. Speak it to the sky. The more you repeat, the more it becomes part of your natural speaking. That's how fluency is born, not in the brain, but in the mouth, the heart, and the body. So don't chase too many sentences. Chase one sentence at a time and fall in love with it. Repeat it like your favorite song. Let it dance on your tongue. Let it live in your memory. And when the moment comes, it will be there, waiting, ready to help you speak. Chapter 10. Shadowing Short Stories for Fluency. There is something special about stories. Something magical. When you hear a story, you don't just listen with your ears. You listen with your heart. You imagine the people, the place, the feelings. You become part of it. That's why, when I discovered shadowing short stories, my English started to feel alive. Before that, I was just repeating sentences, cold, dry, lifeless sentences. But when I started shadowing stories, I could feel the meaning behind the words. I could feel the joy, the fear, the hope, the sadness. The sentences were no longer just language. They were life. The first story I shadowed was about a little girl who lost her umbrella. It was a simple story, nothing dramatic. But the way the storyteller spoke made me feel something. I listened to her voice. She said, she looked everywhere, but the umbrella was gone. I paused. I repeated, she looked everywhere, but the umbrella was gone. I copied the tone, the pause, the worry in her voice. And suddenly, I wasn't just repeating a sentence. I was telling the story with her. I felt her voice in my voice. I felt her story in my chest. That was the moment I knew shadowing stories was something different, something deeper. Stories help you practice many things at once. You get new vocabulary. You hear how sentences are used in real situations. You learn how words connect. But more than that, you learn how to speak with feeling. You learn how to sound natural. You don't just say, I'm happy. You say it with a smile in your voice. You don't just say, I'm sorry. You say it with real regret. These feelings are part of the story. And when you shadow them, they become part of you. That's what makes stories so powerful. They help you feel the English, not just speak it. I started using stories every day in my shadowing practice. I didn't need long ones. Even a 1-minute story was enough. I listened to the narrator. I played one line. I paused. I repeated. I tried to copy the emotion, the speed, the music of their voice. Sometimes I shadowed a bedtime story. Sometimes a folk tale. Sometimes a short story from an English learning app. It didn't matter. As long as the story touched me, I could shadow it. And the more I practiced, the more fluent I felt. Not just fluent in English, but fluent in expression. Some stories made me laugh. Some made me cry. Some made me think. That emotional connection helped me remember the sentences better. I still remember one story where a boy says, I miss my father. I shadowed that line 20 times. Each time, I felt more emotion. Each time, my voice sounded stronger. And now, years later, I still remember that sentence, that voice, that feeling. That's what stories do. They stay with you. They build memories with the language. They make you fall in love with the words. If you're new to shadowing, don't feel like you need to shadow long books. Start small. Pick a short English story for beginners. Listen to one sentence. Pause. Repeat. Act it out. Feel the voice. Maybe the sentence is, "It was raining that morning." Don't just say the words. Imagine the rain. Feel the sadness. Say it like you're really in the story. That practice will build your fluency faster than any grammar book. Because now, your mouth and your heart are working together. I also noticed that shadowing stories help me improve my sentence rhythm. In normal conversations, people don't speak like textbooks. They speak like stories, with energy, with pauses, with natural flow. When you shadow a story, you learn that flow. You copy it. You feel where to pause. You feel when to speak fast and when to slow down. Your English starts to sound more like music, more like real conversation, and people begin to notice. They say, "You sound so natural." That's because you've practiced speaking like a storyteller, not just like a student. Sometimes I shadowed the same story again and again. I didn't need a new one every day. I would pick one story and practice it for a week. Each day, I understood more. I copied better. I added more feeling. I improved little by little. And by the end of the week, I didn't just know the story, I could tell it with my own voice, my own heart. That gave me a kind of confidence I never had before. I felt like I could speak English for real. Not just repeat, but express. Not just answer questions, but share my thoughts. You don't need to be an actor to do this. You just need to feel the story. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about sounding funny. Just let the sentence come out of you, again and again, until you feel it's yours. The more you shadow, the more you grow. One line at a time, one emotion at a time, and one day, without even trying, you'll tell your own story, in your own English, in your own beautiful voice. So now, when I practice English, I often start with a short story. I listen to the narrator. I pause after each sentence. I repeat. I feel the words. I imagine the scenes. I connect. And I remember, this is not just about learning English. This is about using English to connect with life, with people, with feelings, with myself. Chapter 11. Use daily conversations for shadowing. After some time with short stories and simple sentences, I realized something very important. Most of the English we use every day is not complicated. It's not long or poetic. It's simple. It's the English of real life. It's what people say when they greet you, when they ask for help, when they order food, when they talk about the weather, or when they just say how they feel. And if you want to speak English like a pro, this is the kind of English you must learn. This is the kind of English you must shadow. Because daily conversation is where true fluency begins. I used to think I needed to learn hard vocabulary to sound smart. I thought big words would make me better. But when I listened to real English speakers, I heard something surprising. They were not using difficult words. They were using everyday expressions like, "What's up?" "I'm not sure." "Sounds good." Or, "I'll call you later." These were short, friendly, and very useful. I realized I was missing the most important part of English, the part people use every single day. So I made a decision. I would start shadowing daily conversations. I searched for short dialogues, simple clips from shows, audio from English learners' podcasts. I found a video with two people at a coffee shop. One said, "Hey, how's it going?" The other replied, "Not bad, just tired." That's it. So simple. But I played that part again and again. I paused. I repeated, "Hey, how's it going?" I copied the tone, the casual sound, the rising voice at the end. Then I said, "Not bad, just tired." I added a sigh to sound realistic. I wasn't just copying, I was acting. And for the first time, I felt like I was part of the conversation. I began shadowing common phrases from daily life. I'm hungry. Can you help me? Where are you going? What time is it? I repeated each one many times. I used different voices. I imagined different situations. I said it like I was asking a friend, like I was answering a question, like I was feeling tired, like I was excited. This kind of practice helped me speak with emotion. It helped me understand not just what to say, but how to say it. And that's what made my English feel real. The best part of shadowing daily conversation is that you can use it immediately. You don't have to wait. If you shadow the sentence, "How was your day?" today, you can use it with your friend or teacher tomorrow. That gives you motivation. That makes the sentence stick in your memory. Because now it's not just practice. It's part of your real life. It's part of your voice. That's when fluency becomes your habit, not just your goal. I remember once shadowing a short phone conversation. The person said, "Hi, just checking in. Are you free to talk?" I paused. I repeated it again and again. Then, a few days later, I had to call someone in English. I was nervous, but those words came out. "Hi, just checking in. Are you free to talk?" I couldn't believe it. I had practiced it so many times that my brain didn't need to think. My mouth just said it. That's the power of shadowing real-life conversations. They prepare you for real-life moments. If you want to start, begin small. Pick a video or audio clip with normal people talking, not actors speaking fast in action movies. Just real, slow, clear talk. Maybe from a shopping scene, or a friend-to-friend conversation, or a teacher talking to a student. These clips are gold for shadowing. They are full of expressions that you can use every day. And when you shadow them with feeling, they become part of your natural English. Also, don't just repeat one voice. Try both sides of the conversation. Be person A and person B. Say hi. How are you? Then answer, "I'm good, thanks." And you? Switch voices. Add emotion. Pretend you are really speaking to someone. It may feel silly at first, but it works. It trains your brain to think in patterns. It prepares you for real conversation. You don't just learn the words, you learn the flow. Even better, shadow the things you say every day in your own language. How do you say "I'm sleepy"? Or "Let's eat"? Or "I forgot my keys"? Find the English versions and shadow them, because these are the things you will say most often. Practice what matters. Practice what you live. That's the smartest way to build fluency. One of my favorite routines is to shadow the same 5 conversation sentences every morning. Good morning. Did you sleep well? I need some coffee. What's the plan today? Let's get started. I say them while brushing my teeth, making breakfast, or looking in the mirror. I do it every day, and because I repeat them often, they come out fast and easy when I need them. That's how English becomes automatic. Not through magic, but through daily use. Through real-world shadowing. So now, I invite you to find your own daily sentences. What do you say often? Find the English. Play it. Pause. Repeat. Feel it. Live it. Shadow it. Do it every day. In your room. On your walk. Before you sleep. Let those simple sentences shape your fluency. Let them build your confidence. In the next chapter, I'll show you a powerful truth. You don't have to understand everything before you start speaking. In fact, sometimes the best way to learn is to speak first and understand later. And shadowing will help you do that without fear. Chapter 12. Speak before you understand everything. For a long time, I believed one thing. I must understand every word before I speak. I thought I had to study for months, maybe years, before I could open my mouth. I was afraid to say something wrong. I waited and waited, collecting vocabulary, memorizing grammar, trying to translate every sentence in my head. But still, I couldn't speak. Then one day, something changed. I heard a child learning English. She was saying short sentences, full of small mistakes. But she was speaking. Her words were not perfect, but they were real. She was not waiting to understand everything. She was just speaking, and people understood her. That moment woke me up. I realized something powerful. Speaking comes before full understanding. This is how we all learn our first language. As babies, we don't understand grammar. We don't know all the meanings. But we still speak. We copy. We repeat. We use words before we fully know them. And slowly, our brain catches up. Our understanding grows through speaking. That's what shadowing teaches you too. It gives you permission to speak now, not later. Not when you feel ready. Now. With small sentences. With real emotion. Even if you don't understand everything yet. When I started shadowing, I didn't always know what the words meant. I copied them like music. I focused on the sound, on the rhythm, on the voice. I repeated again and again. Sometimes I checked the meaning later. Sometimes I just kept going. But even without full understanding, the sentences stayed with me. They started to feel natural. One day I was watching a video, and the speaker said, "I'm used to it." I had no idea what that meant. But I liked the sound. I paused. I repeated it many times. "I'm used to it." I said it with a calm voice. Then I looked it up. It means, I'm okay with it now. It's normal for me. And suddenly the sentence made sense, not just in my mind, but in my mouth. That's the magic of shadowing. It lets you feel the language before you understand all the rules. You don't have to wait. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to trust the process. Let the words come out. Let the sentences move through you. Don't block them with fear. Don't stop them with doubt. Speak first. Understand later. This is not being lazy. This is how real speaking happens. Sometimes I shadowed full sentences without knowing all the grammar. What are you up to? You've got to be kidding me. I'd rather stay home. These were strange at first. I didn't learn them in school. But I heard them in shows, in songs, in daily conversation. I paused. I repeated. I played with the sound. I didn't wait to fully understand. I just spoke. And slowly, the meaning became clear. My brain started to connect the pieces. It felt like building a puzzle, not by reading the manual, but by putting the pieces together with my hands. And here's something funny. The more I shadowed without fear, the faster I understood. My listening got better. My memory got stronger. I started noticing patterns. I heard the same phrases again and again. I learned what they meant through context, through usage, through experience. Not from a grammar book, but from speaking. Speaking helped my understanding, not the other way around. That's why I always tell beginners, don't wait. Don't say, I'll speak after I understand everything. Because that day may never come. But if you speak now, your understanding will catch up soon. I remember one day I was walking to the store. I had my earphones in. I was shadowing a dialogue. A woman said, "Let me think about it." I didn't stop the audio. I just repeated it right there, out loud. Let me think about it. I didn't stop to ask, what grammar is this? I didn't pause to translate. I just said it. And that sentence became mine. I used it the next day in a real conversation. Someone asked me something, and I said, let me think about it. It came out like magic. That's what happens when you speak before you fully understand. The words become yours. You must trust your instincts. You know more than you think. Your brain is smart. Your tongue is ready. Your voice is waiting. Let it speak. Let it practice. Shadow the sentence even if it feels confusing. Repeat it like a song. Copy it like a child. Feel it in your mouth. Say it again and again. Then, one day, the meaning will shine like light. The understanding will come, but the speaking will already be there. Many learners are silent for too long. They hide behind grammar rules. They collect vocabulary. They wait for the perfect sentence. But that silence steals your fluency. It stops your progress. You don't have to know everything. You just have to begin. Start with what you hear. Repeat it. Use it. Make mistakes. It's okay. Speaking creates fluency. Not waiting. Not thinking. Speaking. So now, when I shadow a new sentence, I don't worry if I don't understand all of it. I just feel it. I repeat it. I let my voice learn before my brain understands. That's how I grow. That's how I build real, natural English. And that's what you can do too. Chapter 13. The 5-minute shadowing habit. Many people think learning English takes hours and hours every day. They imagine long study sessions, big grammar books, and hundreds of vocabulary words. And because of that, they feel tired before they even begin. I understand that feeling. I felt it too. I used to plan big study times, but most days, I couldn't do it. I was busy. I felt lazy. I told myself, maybe tomorrow. And slowly, my English stayed the same. Then, one day, someone told me a simple truth. Small steps, every day, are more powerful than big steps, once in a while. That truth changed everything. I stopped waiting for the perfect time. I started doing just 5 minutes of shadowing each day. And that small habit changed my English in a big way. At first, I didn't believe 5 minutes could do much. I thought, that's too little. But I tried it anyway. I picked one video. Just one sentence. I listened to it. I paused. I repeated it. Again and again. Just 5 minutes. I didn't worry about learning a lot. I didn't pressure myself to be perfect. I just practiced one small thing every day, and after 1 week, I noticed a difference. My mouth felt more comfortable. My voice was stronger. I could say the sentence faster. I started to remember it without looking. That 5-minute habit was working. The best thing about a 5-minute habit is that it feels easy. You don't need to plan a big lesson. You don't need to wait for free time. You can do it while brushing your teeth, while walking, while waiting for a bus, while drinking tea. It fits into your life. And because it's small, you don't skip it. You do it every day. And that's the secret. Not how long you practice, but how often. 5 minutes daily is better than 2 hours once a week. Because daily practice becomes part of you. It builds rhythm. It builds memory. It builds fluency. I created a simple routine. Every morning, after I woke up, I played one English sentence. I paused. I shadowed it 10 times. Then I moved on with my day. That was it. No stress. No long list. Just one sentence. One small victory. And because I did it every day, the sentences added up. After 1 week, I had 7 new sentences. After 1 month, I had 30. After 6 months, I had hundreds. And I didn't even feel tired. It felt like brushing my teeth. Normal, easy, automatic. Sometimes I chose a sentence I heard in a movie. Sometimes it came from a podcast. Sometimes I just made it up, like, I love learning English. I said it again and again. I shadowed it with different voices, with different emotions, with a smile. with energy. And the more I did it, the more natural it became. That's the power of habit. You don't need pressure. You don't need big plans. You just need to show up for 5 minutes. And let that 5 minutes carry you forward. There were days I didn't feel like practicing. I was tired. I was busy. But I told myself, just 5 minutes. That's all. And because it was short, I didn't quit. I played the audio. I repeated the sentence. And every time, I felt better afterward. I felt proud. I felt strong. I felt like I was still growing, even on hard days. That small success gave me energy. And it reminded me that learning doesn't need to hurt. It can feel light. It can feel good. 5 minutes of shadowing gave me that feeling every single day. Even now, after years of learning, I still do my 5-minute practice. It's my daily English warm-up. It keeps my tongue flexible. It keeps my voice clear. It reminds me that small steps create big change. And that's what I want you to remember, too. You don't have to wait for free time. You don't need to feel ready. Just take 5 minutes today. Choose one sentence. Listen. Pause. Speak. Repeat. That's it. Simple. Powerful. Life-changing. You can write it in your notebook. You can record your voice. You can speak in front of the mirror. You can walk while doing it. It doesn't matter where or how. What matters is that you do it. Every single day. Don't worry if it feels slow. Don't worry if you repeat the same sentence for 3 days. That repetition is your strength. That habit is your teacher. And over time, those 5 minutes will turn into real speaking ability, into real confidence. I believe that even 5 minutes of shadowing can open a new door. It can make you feel strong. It can break your silence. It can remind you that you are not too late. You are not too weak. You are not too slow. You are learning. You are growing. And you are doing something amazing, using your voice every single day to become the English speaker you always wanted to be. Chapter 14. Shadowing while walking, cooking, or waiting. One of the biggest excuses I used to make was, I don't have time to practice. I told myself I was too busy. School, work, family, there was always something. I thought I needed a quiet room, a table, a notebook, and 1 full hour to study English. So I waited for the perfect time. But that perfect time almost never came. Days passed. Weeks passed. My English stayed the same. Then one day, I saw a man walking down the street, talking softly to himself in English. He had earphones in. He was listening and repeating. He was shadowing, right there on the sidewalk. And that moment changed my life. I realized something powerful. English is not just for classrooms. You can shadow anywhere, anytime, even while walking, cooking, or waiting. I started the very next day. I went for a short walk in the evening. I put on my earphones. I played a short English sentence. I paused. I repeated it out loud, softly, just like the man I saw. How are you doing today? I said it while walking. I looked at the sky. I felt the fresh air. I repeated the sentence again and again. I wasn't sitting at a desk, but I was learning. I was speaking, and it felt good. Free. Light. Real. That's when I learned that my feet could move and my mouth could learn at the same time. Later, I tried shadowing while cooking dinner. I was washing vegetables, and my phone was playing a short English dialogue. I paused the audio. I said this sentence out loud. Do you want some tea? I chopped onions. I repeated again. Do you want some tea? I smiled. It felt funny, but also it felt real. I wasn't just studying English anymore. I was living with it. I was mixing English with my daily life. That small change made a big difference. It removed the stress. It turned learning into something natural. Waiting is another secret time for shadowing. We all wait for the bus, for food, in line at the store, at the doctor's office. Most people scroll their phones or just stare at the wall. But I decided to use that time. I kept 1 or 2 English sentences saved on my phone. I played them when I waited. I whispered them softly. I repeated them in my mind. I copied the voice in my ear. Even 2 minutes of waiting became 2 minutes of practice. Over time, I realized I had found many hidden minutes in my day, and I turned all of them into speaking moments. This is the power of flexible shadowing. You don't need a perfect study space. You don't need long hours. You just need a little creativity and a strong reason to speak. I knew my goal. I wanted to feel comfortable speaking English. I wanted to use my voice. So I looked at my daily life, and I found moments where I could shadow, not as a student, but as a real person, living and learning at the same time. And the results were amazing. My speaking speed improved. My memory got sharper. My fear became smaller. And my confidence started to grow, not in big lessons, but in small, simple minutes. I often tell learners now, your home is your classroom. Your day is your teacher. Your phone is your textbook. And your voice is your tool. You don't have to wait for peace and quiet. Life is noisy. Life is busy. But English can live inside your life if you let it. If you walk to school, shadow a few sentences along the way. If you do dishes, play a short English clip and repeat the words. If you wait in traffic or sit on a bus, listen and speak softly. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to happen. One of my favorite times to shadow is in the morning when I make tea. I say simple sentences. Today is a new day. I will speak English with confidence. Let's begin. These words feel like a gentle start to my day. I don't worry about grammar. I don't worry about understanding every word. I just say them, feel them, live with them. And that's the beauty of shadowing in real life. It becomes part of your world. Not something extra. Not something stressful. Just a small voice that walks with you. Some days, I shadow while folding clothes, or while feeding the cat, or while washing my hands. These tasks don't need much thought, but your mouth and ears are still free. So why not speak? Why not grow? Shadowing doesn't need to be serious. It can be light, playful, joyful. It can fit into any moment. And the more you do it, the more fluent you feel, not just in English, but in life. It's okay if people around you don't understand. Maybe they look at you and wonder, why is she talking to herself? Smile. Keep going. Because you know why. You know what you're building. You're building a habit, a skill, a voice, and that voice will take you to places you've never imagined. So don't say, I don't have time. You have time. You just need to see it. Use your 5 minutes of walking, your 10 minutes of cooking, your few minutes of waiting. Fill them with English. Fill them with your voice. Repeat those sentences. Live those words. And soon, speaking English will not feel like a task. It will feel like breathing. In the next chapter, I'll show you a fun and powerful way to level up your shadowing by copying the speech of your favorite actors. Because when you learn to speak like them, you learn to sound natural, emotional, and truly fluent. Chapter 15. Talk like your favorite actor. One day, while watching a movie, I saw something that made me stop and listen. The actor wasn't using big words. He wasn't speaking fast. But his voice had something special. Power, feeling, music. He said a simple line, I'll be there. But the way he said it made me feel everything. Trust, promise, comfort. I paused the movie. I rewound it. I listened again. I repeated it. I'll be there. I tried to say it like him. I tried to match his emotion, his timing, his voice. And in that moment, I discovered something new. Shadowing is not just about copying words. It's about copying people, real voices, real feelings. And that's when I started to learn how to speak English like my favorite actors. Actors don't just say lines. They feel them. They live them. And when we copy them through shadowing, we learn more than just pronunciation. We learn how to express ourselves. We learn how to sound alive. That's why shadowing movie scenes, TV shows, or interviews is one of the best ways to practice. It teaches you the rhythm of real conversation. It teaches you tone, pause, stress. It teaches you how to speak like a human, not like a textbook. And most of all, it makes learning fun. I remember the first scene I shadowed fully. It was from a romantic movie. The actor looked into someone's eyes and said, "You mean everything to me." I paused the video. I whispered the words, "You mean everything to me." I said it slowly, softly. I felt the words in my heart. Then I said it louder, with more confidence. I acted like I was really in the scene. My voice changed. My face moved. My body got involved. And that's when I felt the line become mine. I wasn't just repeating it. I was living it. That kind of shadowing is powerful because it connects your English to your emotions. It helps you learn not just the words, but the feeling behind them. That's how we remember best. Think about your favorite actor. Maybe you love how they speak. Maybe their voice is strong, or gentle, or funny. Find a short scene where they speak clearly. Play it. Listen carefully. Pause after each sentence. Repeat it out loud. Try to sound just like them. Don't worry if it's perfect. Just focus on feeling what they feel. Copy their tone. Copy their attitude. You'll be surprised how much you learn. You don't need to copy a full movie. Even one short sentence can teach you a lot. I once shadowed just 3 words. "I got this," from a movie scene where the character was about to face something big. I played it again and again. I repeated it while walking, while brushing my teeth, while looking in the mirror. I got this. I copied the actor's confidence. I used his energy. And one day, before a job interview, I looked in the mirror and said it again, "I got this." And I felt brave. That sentence became part of me. That's what shadowing a powerful voice can do. Some people think they can't shadow actors because the speech is too fast. That's okay. You don't need to copy the speed at first. Slow it down. Many video players have a slow speed option. Use it. Listen to the lines slowly. Speak slowly. Then slowly speed up. Soon, your mouth will move with ease. Your voice will feel strong. And you will notice that your English is becoming more natural every day. I often tell my students to pick one scene they love. A moment that gives them emotion. Maybe it's a funny moment. Maybe it's serious. Maybe it's a small conversation between 2 people. Choose it. Watch it again and again. Then shadow it. Speak both sides of the dialogue. Change your voice. Play with it. Make it yours. Because when learning feels like play, we learn better. We learn faster. And we enjoy the journey more. Shadowing actors also teaches you body language. Watch how they move, how they look, how their voice matches their face. You can stand in front of a mirror and shadow the whole scene. Watch yourself as you speak. You'll feel more confident, more expressive, more real. This kind of practice prepares you for real conversations. It gives you the tools to speak, not like a student, but like a person who feels every word. The best part? You already know many of these scenes. You've watched these movies before. You enjoy them. So now, instead of just watching, you're learning. Instead of just listening, you're speaking. Turn entertainment into education. Turn your screen into your teacher. And turn your favorite actors into your English-speaking coaches. Some days, I still go back to those scenes. I play the sentence. I close my eyes. I repeat it out loud. I feel the emotion. I feel the rhythm. And every time, I grow a little more. My fluency gets stronger. My confidence grows deeper. And I remember, shadowing is not about saying more. It's about saying better. So if you want to level up your English, don't be afraid to act. Don't be afraid to copy. Choose your favorite actor. Choose your favorite scene. And speak like them. Feel like them. Learn from them. Because when you speak like someone you admire, you start to believe in your own voice. Chapter 16. Record yourself and listen again. The first time I recorded my voice speaking English, I felt scared. I pressed the record button. I said a simple sentence, "Hello, my name is," and then I stopped. My heart beat faster. I didn't want to press play. I didn't want to hear myself. I thought, what if I sound bad? What if my accent is strange? What if I make mistakes? But I took a deep breath. I pressed play, and I listened. At first, I didn't like it. My voice sounded different from what I heard in my head. It felt too slow, too soft. I heard mistakes I didn't even notice before. I wanted to delete it, but I didn't. I listened again, and that moment changed everything. Because in that recording, I heard more than just mistakes. I heard my effort. I heard my courage. I heard myself trying. And that's when I realized, recording your voice is not about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about hearing your growth. It's about finding your real English voice and slowly making it stronger. That day, I promised myself something simple. I will not run from my voice. I will face it. I will listen to it. I will grow with it. And so began one of the most powerful habits in my learning journey, recording and listening. Shadowing becomes even more powerful when you record yourself. It gives you something to review, something to study, something to improve. When you listen to a native speaker, pause the sentence, repeat it, and then record yourself saying it. Afterward, compare. Did your voice sound similar? Did your tone match? Did you miss a word? Did your sentence flow smoothly? This simple habit gives you clear answers. It shows you what to fix. And it helps you feel proud of what you're already doing well. I used to think that I could hear my own mistakes while speaking, but I couldn't. Not always. My brain was busy thinking. But when I listened to the recording later, I could hear the truth. I noticed where my voice went flat, where my pronunciation was wrong, where I spoke too fast. And once I saw those things, I could fix them. I could shadow again. I could try a little slower. I could repeat the sentence with more emotion. Each time, I improved a little. And with every new recording, I became more confident. Some days, I didn't want to record. I felt tired. I felt shy. I thought, why listen to myself again? But I remembered my goal. I wanted to speak English clearly. I wanted to sound natural. So I did it anyway. I picked one sentence. I shadowed it. I recorded my voice. I listened. And sometimes I smiled. I said to myself, "You're better than yesterday." That small smile gave me strength. It showed me that progress was real, even if it was slow. Recording also helped me measure my journey. I saved my recordings in a folder. After a few weeks, I listened to the first one. Then I listened to the newest one. The difference was huge. My old voice sounded scared, unsure. My new voice sounded smoother, braver. I didn't notice that change day by day, But the recordings showed me clearly. And that proof gave me hope. It told me, you are moving forward. That's why I tell every learner, don't just speak. Record. Listen. Grow. You don't need fancy tools. Your phone is enough. Use the voice recorder. Say one sentence. Say it 3 times. Save it. Listen later. You can do this in 5 minutes. You can do this while walking or sitting quietly. The habit is small, but the effect is big. Over time, you will hear your accent improve. Your pauses will sound more natural. Your tone will match real English speakers. You will notice the words coming out more smoothly, without so much thinking. That is fluency being born inside your voice. Sometimes I even sent my recordings to a friend who was also learning English. We gave each other feedback. We helped each other improve. That made me feel less alone, and it pushed me to try harder. You can do the same, or you can just listen to yourself in private. It's okay either way. What matters is that you start, that you give your voice a chance to be heard, not just by others, but by you. Many learners feel afraid to hear themselves speak English. But you don't have to be. Your voice is your power. Your mistakes are your teachers. And your recordings are your mirror. They reflect your effort. They show your growth. So don't run away from the sound of your voice. Embrace it. Practice it. Shape it. Make it stronger, day by day, sentence by sentence. Now, whenever I shadow a sentence, I often record myself too. It helps me feel responsible. It keeps me honest. And it gives me a reason to smile when I hear how far I've come. So grab your phone. Choose one sentence today. Shadow it. Record it. Then press play. And listen not with judgment, but with love, with patience, with pride. Chapter 17 combines shadowing with self-talk. There came a time in my English journey when I felt stuck. I had shadowed many sentences. I had copied many voices. I had repeated what I heard in movies, podcasts, and YouTube videos. But something was missing. I could repeat other people's words, but I couldn't speak freely. I didn't know how to talk about myself, about my day, about my feelings. My English was improving, but my voice still felt like someone else's. That's when I discovered something powerful, something simple but life-changing. I started talking to myself in English. I combined shadowing with self-talk. And suddenly, I was no longer just learning English. I was living it. Self-talk means using English to talk about your own life. Your real life. It doesn't have to be loud. You don't need anyone to listen. You just speak to yourself. You say what you see, what you feel, what you're doing. And when you combine this with shadowing, it becomes even stronger. First, you copy someone else's sentence. Then, you use the same structure to say your own. You start with a model, then you make it yours. This is the secret to turning shadowing into real speaking. I remember one day, I was shadowing the sentence. I'm going to the store. I repeated it 10 times. I liked how it sounded. Then I thought, wait, I'm not going to the store. I'm going to work. So I said, I'm going to work. It was a small change, but it felt different. It felt personal. I wasn't just copying now. I was speaking for myself. That one moment opened a new door. I realized I could take any shadowed sentence and make it part of my own life. That was the beginning of my self-talk journey. After that, I built a little habit. Every morning, I shadowed one simple sentence. Then I changed it to fit my day. If I shadowed, "It's a beautiful day," I would look outside and say, "It's a rainy day," or "It's a busy day." If I shadowed, "I'm feeling tired," I would say, "I'm feeling excited," or "I'm feeling okay today." This small step helped me connect English to my real emotions. I stopped thinking in rules. I started thinking in feeling. And every time I did this, I felt my English grow deeper inside me. Self-talk is powerful because it's always available. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a class. You are your own practice partner. You can talk while getting dressed. I'm putting on my shoes. You can talk while cooking. I'm making eggs today. You can talk about your mood. I feel a little nervous. You don't need big words. You just need honesty. Speak what is true. Speak what is real. And the more you do it, the more your confidence grows. Not only because you're practicing, but because you're using English to talk about your own world. Some days, I combine shadowing and self-talk in this way. I shadow a dialogue. Maybe I hear someone say, "What do you want to eat?" I repeat it a few times. Then I stop and ask myself the same question. What do I want to eat? I answer, I want to eat rice. Or I want something sweet. In that moment, the English becomes mine. It moves from being someone else's sentence to being my sentence. That connection is the key to fluency. It's not about how many words you know. It's about how much of yourself you can express. Even when I feel nervous or shy, self-talk helps me feel safe. There's no pressure. No one is judging. I can make mistakes. I can laugh at myself. I can try again. I can speak slowly. I can speak fast. I can speak with emotion. This private space gives me freedom. And that freedom becomes confidence when I speak with others later. Because I've already said it before, to myself. My mouth knows it. My voice remembers it. My mind feels ready. You can start this habit today. Choose one sentence you shadowed. Repeat it. Then change it. Make it about your life. If the sentence is, "He is watching TV," say, "I am watching YouTube." Or, "My brother is watching football." Use the same shape. Just change the picture. Do this every day, one sentence at a time. Slowly, you'll build a bridge between shadowing and speaking. Slowly, you'll stop depending on what others say and start building your own voice in English. Sometimes, I even walk around my room and talk out loud. I'm cleaning my desk now. I forgot my keys again. I'm thinking about my weekend. These little sentences feel small, but they are big. They build your fluency. They build your natural rhythm. They build the feeling of English in your mouth. And when the time comes to talk to someone else, you'll feel ready. Because you've already practiced. Not just with others' words, but with your own. So don't just shadow. Speak for yourself. Tell your own story. Describe your own day. Share your own thoughts. Even if it's only to yourself. Especially if it's only to yourself. That's where your true fluency starts. That's where your voice begins. Chapter 18. From Silence to Speaking Like a Pro. I still remember the silence. The long, heavy silence that came every time someone asked me a question in English. My heart would race. My mind would freeze. I knew the words in my head, but my mouth wouldn't move. I was scared to speak. Scared to make a mistake. Scared to sound silly. So I stayed quiet. I smiled. I nodded. But deep inside, I felt like I was stuck behind a glass wall. I could see the conversation, but I couldn't join it. I wanted to speak English like a pro, but I didn't know how to begin. That silence followed me everywhere. Until one day, I decided to fight it. Not with grammar rules, not with big books, but with my voice. One small sentence at a time. I started shadowing. At first, it felt strange. I repeated sentences like a child. I copied voices from videos. I paused. I spoke. I tried again. My sentences were short. My accent felt heavy. But for the first time, I was not silent. I was speaking. Slowly. Softly. But still speaking. And with every new sentence I repeated, I felt the silence getting smaller. I felt my confidence getting bigger. That was the beginning of my real English journey. Not the day I memorized 100 words, but the day I opened my mouth and let the words come out. Shadowing helped me find my rhythm. It trained my mouth to move. It helped me hear real English. It gave me sentences I could use. I didn't worry about being perfect. I just kept going. I shadowed in the morning. I shadowed at night. I spoke in front of the mirror. I whispered while walking. I used 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It became a habit, a part of my life. And slowly, I started to feel different. I started to feel like someone who could speak. Not perfectly, but naturally. Not quickly, but confidently. Then came self-talk. I started turning those shadowed sentences into my own. I stopped only copying others. I began describing my day, my thoughts, my feelings. I'm cooking lunch. I feel tired. Today was a good day. These sentences may seem simple, but they gave me power. They helped me use English to tell my story. And that's when I truly became a speaker. Not just someone who studies English, but someone who lives it, someone who uses it. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment. I stopped saying, I'll speak when I'm ready. I understood that fluency comes from doing, not waiting. I started speaking even when I didn't feel ready. I made mistakes. I laughed at myself. I tried again. I kept shadowing. I kept talking to myself. I kept recording my voice. I kept practicing during my walks, while cooking, while folding laundry. English was no longer a subject. It was a part of me, a part of my routine, a part of my identity. And then one day, something amazing happened. I had a full conversation with someone in English. I didn't freeze. I didn't panic. I didn't translate. The words came out naturally. Not because I had studied a grammar rule, but because I had spoken those words before, through shadowing, through self-talk, through repetition, through emotion. I had trained for this moment. And when it came, I was ready. Not perfect, but real. And that was enough. That is what I want for you. To move from silence to speech. From fear to freedom. From copying to creating. From memorizing to feeling. Shadowing is your tool. Your starting point. Your training. But your voice is the real goal. Your voice is your power. It's not about sounding like a native speaker. It's about sounding like you, with confidence, with clarity, with heart. It's about telling your story in your words. It's about being part of the conversation, not just listening to it. You don't need to wait anymore. You don't need to hide. You shadowed. You've repeated. You felt the words. You've practiced in small moments. You've whispered alone. You've spoken with emotion. You've lived with English. And now, you are ready. You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep speaking. Every day, every chance, every small moment. Because now, your silence has a voice. Your fear has become strength. Your mistakes have become music. And your journey is just beginning. Speak with joy. Speak with pride. Speak like someone who knows they've worked for it. You are no longer learning English like a stranger. You are speaking English like a pro.